Today is Saturday, September 30th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the Listener Feedback Show for Episode 1 of Survivor 35.
Perhaps you're new to the podcast. Let me lay it out for you. We do 3 episodes a week when the season's airing. We do a recap right after the episode airs, so that's usually out that Wednesday night. We get an interview with the castaway or castaways that get voted off, and we get that out for you on Thursdays. And then on Saturday, that's the Listener Feedback Show. That's the opportunity for the other super fans to share their thoughts and predictions, their observations, their insights, some of it filtered through their own personal life experience.
And anything we missed.
That too. So that's how it goes. And now it's time to hit that Listener Feedback Show for Episode 1 of Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. Let's kick it off with Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling here. And I gotta say, with the way the premiere went, let's let out a big woo! Oh, yeah. Great way to kick off the season. Even though some might say the vote out was predictable, I disagree. It was not as predictable as it may appear. So let me get into it. First, I love that opening when they got marooned, and I love that they added the twist of having them a big fire pit here. Looked more like a barn. I think it was a bonfire. And the second team got Flint. That was awesome. And it's good that they shook things up a little bit. And I really love that Ryan, who I love this season so far, got that advantage there, the idol. And I like that he gave it to Chrissy. I didn't think that was going to happen, but to his credit, he had a great read. And I think when he saw her throwing up there, he thought she was going to be the target. Kudos to him on that. Not crazy about Patrick. He seems cuckoo. Oh, that gingerbread man. And then as far as Allie, I like Allie. She seems real good so far. But the healers, I like a lot of the healers except for Joe. I think Joe is to be very careful. And I love Mike. Even though Mike was trying to look for the idol, which probably wasn't the best play, I didn't like the way Joe approached him. I feel Mike's going to still be a player. And I love the Jess and Cole. Already we have a showman there. Cole is a beast. I like him. And then for the heroes, I actually like all of the heroes except for Alan. I mean, yes, I love that Alan was trying to break up JP and Ashley because couples are dangerous, but he could have handled it way better. And clearly, just like Ashley said, guys, he has a big target on his back there, Alan. I'm a little worried about him, but because he's a physical presence, I think he's going to be okay, at least until maybe a swap. Who knows? And I feel bad for Katrina, but it seems she hardly got any confessionals. That's why I thought Ashley was going to get blindsided. So that's why I was shocked. But in the end, they all did. Even Chrissy voted against Katrina. So she's first out. But I feel the heroes will bounce back. And we're going to have a very good episode 2. Great way to kick off the season, guys. What do you guys think, though, of Chrissy? Here's a question. Chrissy not playing the idol to save Katrina. You think she could have done that? That would have been interesting, but I think she made the right move. Take care.
Thanks, Pete. Well, you had a little more time to think about it. Do you think she made the right call, given everything we know now after talking to Katrina?
After talking to Katrina, yeah, I guess so. They really weren't united the way we thought they were. It makes a lot more sense now.
I'm still on the fence. I know other people are going to sound off on that too, and I'm looking forward to hearing the other views. But I think that she could have done better for herself. It still seems to me that all she did was delay, whereas she could have gone bold and taken control. That's where I think she missed out.
Not if she gets in good with Ben and they go against Alan.
But if you're Ben, how are you going to respond to her? You're going to want to make her feel like, yeah, she's safe. She's in control.
Sure.
And then you take out the rest of the mom squad.
You
yeah, because she's the weakest link. Yeah, so I guess you and I are split now on it. I haven't heard enough to make me think otherwise yet.
Well, what if she performs fabulously this week on a puzzle challenge and wins it for them? Then does that change things?
It would up her stock, yeah, the perception of her for sure. Will it be enough? Don't know. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got a call from Samantha.
This is Samantha, a.k.a. Survivor Rocks from Texas. The Survivor gods were not happy. It hasn't rained in over a month here in the Lone Star State, and the moment the Survivor came on, rain knocks out the satellite. Uh-oh. I missed the entire opening and the reward challenge until, like magic, I see the healers win, lighting the torch, and the heroes come in second for Flint, while the hustlers were still trying to figure out how to row a boat. But I was able to watch the rest of the show, even though it continued to drop buckets. I went back and watched the first part the next day on CBS Online. Now to the show. We don't like Alan. He's playing too aggressive. He will be gone soon. Joe is another one that was being pushy, and I don't like. My husband said he would not have dropped his pants, and he would have told Alan off. I didn't like Joe interrogating Mike, and I still don't like Ashley, and still feel the same about my top four. But Rourke redeems herself a little bit, lighting the torch and cheering on her teammates. Chrissy falling on her knees showed a sign of weakness, but she still has what it takes. Joe is just a Tony wannabe. I question why Chrissy wouldn't use the super idol to save an ally when it's dead in the water now. I would have used it, broke up Ashley and JP, sending Ashley walking out of tribal council. But as a viewer, we wanted Alan to go home. Until next week, may the Survivor gods keep the TV on.
All right. Thanks, Samantha. Yeah, see, what Chrissy gave up was having someone to shield her, to be voted out. She went ahead and got rid of Katrina now, whereas it would have benefited her to carry her with her so that she wasn't always viewed on the bottom. She got rid of her buffer in letting Katrina go by when she could have strengthened an alliance and flipped the script. Thanks again, Samantha. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Puck from Indiana. And that was a pretty crazy premiere. A lot of surprises, a lot of disappointment. All right, let's get right into it, and what I feel were the highlights of the episode. Ryan gets the idol, which, of course, I mean, I love how he just drops everything he's doing. He's like, oh my gosh, they can't figure out how to hide it. I thought that was funny, but I mean, how fitting that the super fan gets the advantage. You know, he knows what he's looking for. And speaking about Ryan, I do think he's better than I gave him credit for, but I'm still not 100% on him. Another staying on Hustlers, Allie and Patrick align. Who knew that the two people that knew each other would be in an alliance? But looks like that's not going to go too well because, as predicted, Patrick is a bit of a dork. You know, at least in the first episode, he wasn't too terrible. Ryan and Devin, which I didn't see coming, but it's another unlikely pair between a physical dude and a weaker guy. You know, it's like David and Ken, Fishback and JT, you know, and they often work out pretty well. I don't know, this one might. All right, let's go to Heroes. Alan was crazier than I thought Katrina would be. Like, what? Oh, my goodness. Hopefully he gets better. I don't know, man. Katrina, she was fine. I mean, we got nothing from her. Ben is better than I thought it'd be. I mean, he kind of made a mistake by aligning with Alan, but I feel like if he would have seen that fiasco, he probably would have been like, yeah, this isn't the right way to go. It looks like the next episode he'll do something about that. Was really the only thing we got from Healers. Mike, he's looking for the idol, and Joe, I feel like it's trying too hard. It's trying too hard to be a manipulator. Like, I feel like almost everyone in the season from right off the bat is trying too hard. Maybe it'll work out for you, but I don't think so. You just need to calm down for the first couple of days, you know. Day one, you should just be getting to know everybody. That's too early to try and, you know, scare someone into stop looking for an idol or feeling like they're going home first. Or that's kind of a dumb move. You don't try to, you know, scare someone and you know, thinking they're the first one gone. Yeah. If there's someone like Mike. So they keep teasing this Jennifer and Cole thing, but I feel like Ashley and JP is a thing. I think that there's going to be a showmance between them two. Or maybe like a quiet one, and then afterwards it'll be like, hey, it's an Ethan and Jenna thing. Maybe it'll last. Chrissy not saving Katrina. Interesting. I feel like, and she even voted for Katrina. Where did that come from, you know? Very surprising. I feel like she's like, I should try to work through these cracks because this is a dysfunctional alliance. And sure enough, from preview, it looks like she's going to try to. Chrissy's more strategic than I thought she'd be. So, a lot of surprises, a lot of disappointments, Alan and Joe. All in all, it's a pretty good episode, and see you guys next time.
Excellent. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we've got an email from Mikeybear in New Jersey. Hi, Joanne and Stacy. As soon as the episode ended last night, I said to my wife, well, that was some BS. And at the moment, it was more my reaction to Chrissy not saving Katrina with the idol, since it could have only been used at that moment. But the more I thought about it, it had a lot to do with my feelings towards the episode as a whole. An hour for the premiere is just simply not enough time. There was not enough time for them to make us truly understand how things went down. Instead, poor Katrina got the Wendy Joe edit. You barely saw her in the episode. The next thing you know, she's voted out. And why was it her over Chrissy, who was vomiting after the challenge? Was she as wacky around camp as she was in her pre-show interviews? Did Chrissy make a deal with Ben before Tribal? Was her vote for Katrina simply a result of what was said at Tribal? We don't know because they didn't show it. Yeah, and we didn't get any extras to shed light on that, did we?
Nope.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll enjoy the season, but I just hate when they do stuff like this and rush the episode. They did the same thing with the finale of Game Changers, and I wasn't a fan of that either. I'm really hoping that Alan turns things around. I was impressed when he was on the boat and just launched a crate into the water, but then at camp, he was just a wackadoodle. I like the partnership that seems to be forming between Ryan and Devin. Not what I expected, but quite interesting. I'm not a big fan of Joe and the way he confronted Michael. Not that I'm a big fan of Michael, but it was very reminiscent of Jean Robert in China. I was surprised that the heroes lost the first immunity challenge. No way I would have seen that coming. In fact, because of that, and because I was playing bold, not only did I lose a save point in JSFL, my first boot was wrong too, so my JSFL season is off to a wonderful start. You and me both, brother. Anyway, I'm remaining optimistic for the remainder of the season, and I'm curious to hear what everyone else has to say. Talk to you next week. Thanks, Mikeybear. Good job.
See, that's twice now
What's that?
that somebody said they were surprised about Ryan and Devin. I always assumed that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Probably because I chose
Like Parker.
Ryan.
Yeah, well, you for the USB, so you immediately thought,
no,
how can he be helped? Because he doesn't look like he can stay.
I really thought that he would.
Yeah, Parker's point about, the JP Steven and the Ken David, that those kind of alliances can work really well for odd couples. That's essentially what you would call them, right?
I was just surprised that other people were surprised.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I was surprised that the heroes lost, too. So
Yes. Definitely
didn't see that coming either.
the episode held lots of surprises for us. Next up, hey, it's a voice from the past. Kathy's back.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Kathy from Reisterstown, Maryland. I know it's been forever since I've called in and left some feedback, but I thought I would do so for at least the first part of Survivor for this season.
Yay.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't really have time to look at all the bios or listen to any of that stuff. I was preparing. My daughter got married this past Sunday, so we have been preparing for that, so I just didn't have time. And how I picked my USB, I listened to Paul from Louisiana. He gave me my USB when I heard him say Ryan for the win. So I picked Ryan for my USB. Thanks, Paul. He better win. But I thought it was a good episode. Pretty good cast. Some people I just don't like. I think the one guy's name is Alan. The one whoever started all that stuff with JP and his quote-unquote girlfriend, I don't like him. He could go. And I was happy with the vote off. She's fine. She can go. I didn't really care, so... But I'll make it short and sweet. I just wanted to call and say hello and also let you know that my grandson is now 6.5 years old. Time sure does fly. Have a good day.
Yes, it
Thanks.
does.
Bye.
Wow.
He was just a baby.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Great to hear from you again.
And thanks for the pictures.
Next up, we got some insight from Rashmi.
Hello, all my Survivor friends. So finally, Survivor is back. I'm so happy. And it warmed my heart to see the Indian touch with all the idols and the statues that were in display. And also in the music, you could hear the Indian music and the wordings that they use. So I was really pleased with that. Now, about my USB. Yes, I chose Alan as my USB. And my God, I am so worried now that I never realized he was that crazy. But who knows? Because he's a crazy guy, he might get dragged to the end like so many others before him. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but that guy, I think it was Joe's, how were his shorts staying on? How did they stay on? I'm just confused. I've never seen anybody wear shorts like that. What else was really interesting was Ryan. I wish I had chosen Ryan as my USB. The way he found the clue and the way he talks, it's all very interesting. Talking about finding the clue on the ship, with the marooning, I don't understand. Why does everybody just throw things out willy-nilly? Hey, you're just throwing things in the water. Who's retrieving it? Well, that's just my thought. The challenges were brilliant. I really enjoyed it. And Daisy, she was so good. And the challenge and, with the puzzle. I had initially tossed up between Alan and Daisy, and I went with Crazy Alan. Oh, God, whatever. Anyway, I'm so happy Survivor is back and waiting to hear what everybody else has to say. Thank you and cheers.
Thank you, Rashmi. Good job. Yeah, that style of wearing the short so low like that's something that's been going on here in the States for years. It's always seemed impractical and goofy to me. But, yep, it is a thing. It's been
Showing
a thing.
your age now.
Been a thing for a long time. Yeah, get off my lawn. It's been a thing for quite a while. Thanks, Rashmi. Next up, we got an email from JK in Rhode Island.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. From my 4 Tinder pics, Chrissy threw up. Dr. Mike received a shiv to his neck from a prison guard. And Alan was a phone call away from a 5150.
Which is a code for...
come and get him.
A person in mental distress. Yeah.
Okay, so my 4th Tinder pic was Jessica. We barely saw Jessica, but Cole declared she was really cute.
He swiped right.
That's right. Jessica, you are my best shot. Please don't screw up my Tinder pics with the showmance. All the best. All right. Thanks, JK.
Poor JK. I think you're in for some disappointment there. Those two are definitely going to have a showmance.
Oh, it's too early to tell.
Well, they're pitching it like it's a focus and next time on Survivor. So. Yep. She's going to make that mistake. He's going to make that mistake. It'll be a train wreck to watch.
Or they'll go all the way like Rob and Amber.
Oh, sure. There you go. Just put a happy face on it. For JK. Thanks, JK. Next up, we got another call from Brandon. 2 in a row. Yes.
Hey, what's up, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans? It's Brandon from Cleveland, giving my feedback about the first episode. I really enjoyed it. I wish it was an hour and a half. I'm guessing most people wish the same thing, but I wonder what the heck is going to happen with Mr. Crazy Eyes Allen. That was a segment to remember, I must say. But I'll tell you what, it makes JP and Ashley more likable because those were 2 of my like I said, I really enjoyed this cast, but those were two of like my least favorites so far. I thought Ashley had like a harsh demeanor, and I thought JP was like milquetoast. But they kind of came off as fun characters in this episode, thanks to Alan's craziness. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, and I'm so glad Chrissy was safe because I picked her as a USB. I originally had Rourke, but then for some reason I changed my mind and I said I'm gonna go with Chrissy, and she was so close to going home. So thank goodness for that super idol. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate it. But seems like they flipped the vote to Katrina anyway, so maybe she would have been good anyway. Who knows? I'm just glad I had that security blanket. I'm also really rooting for Mike. I hope he wins in the battle up against Joe. Joe's going to make awesome TV, so I hope he lasts too. But I just really want that Healers tribe to do well, because that's the tribe that I like the most. I have a vested interest in all 6 players to me for one reason or another, but I want Mike to come out on top in that little feud. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen with this whole Allie and Patrick dynamic too. But that's all I got to say. I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Thanks, Brandon. What do you think about that? That seemed like a pretty good point, that Allen's being so far off in the spectrum of their tribe that it made Ashley and JP more palatable. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
that makes some
because
sense.
I didn't think either one of them were warm and fuzzy kind of people,
No.
Necessarily.
But in contrast, they came off so much better.
Thanks,
that
Alan.
it could skew your perception. Interesting. Good point. Thanks, Brandon. Next up, we got another call from Chris.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Hey, Survivor fans. I'm enjoying what I've seen of this new season, all 40-something minutes of it. I wonder how many times Jeff could say the complete name of the season in 40-something minutes. And I liked the opening footage with the ship. The hidden clue was nice, but the tossing everything overboard never gets old. I liked the boats they were using. They would have carried a lot of supplies. And yes, an Olympic athlete swimming out for the boat and bringing it back towards the ship would have been the way to go. If only it were possible. Yay, I got a first vote out bonus. Hey, Joanne and Stacy, I'm back on traditional Survivor time. I've been watching Survivor exclusively online for years now, and these cord-cutting comments are brought to you by Prego and by Wendy's Taco Salad. It's deliciously different. I liked it when, on the Red Tribe, the Surfer and the Superfan almost did the pinky promise thing over their idol friendship. I have an 8-year-old daughter. I know about these things. And then, on the Healers Tribe, no, there's nothing going on between us. I'm telling you, he doesn't have an idol. There's nothing in his pants. No, there's nothing going on between us. The challenge really looked exciting until Chrissy went down, and CBS included all the gritty footage. But it's okay. I think someone said they were going to make lemonade out of it. I'd like to feel like a winner, and you can too, at the Made to Move event at your Cadillac dealer. Joanne and Stacy, I also loved the whales. They are magnificent creatures, and I'd like to get to know them better. But I have my doubts if what they used were the actual sounds from the underwater footage. What do you think? As long as they have to come up with a sound clip for these tranquil scenes, how about a whale song version of the Survivor theme? I could work on it. I invite anybody else that might be interested, and it would go great with a ukulele. I'm just saying. Hey, Survivor fans, did any of you get to see the recent eclipse in totality? I did, and it was amazing. Can you imagine if the executive producers planned a Survivor season to occur at the right time and in the right place for a total eclipse to occur in totality? Watching the survivors' reaction for the hours leading up to it, and then, but we don't have time for that, so we'll use the indescribable as a backdrop for Jeff's heroic mountaintop shot. What do you think? Would he be down with that? I loved the intro to Tribal Council. The set was more low-key, but the savage music, which led our players into the arena, was very brooding. And speaking of deep ritual and foreboding gloom, we're soon to hear those mystical words. Behind each of you is a torch. And maybe later we'll get to hear, good night.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
You know what shocked me most?
What's that?
Annabelle's 8.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Good job, Chris. Next up, we got an email from Josh, the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I was really looking forward to the premiere. It started okay, and the challenge was exciting, but the air leaked out of the balloon by the end. After the build-up of the Super Idol and an implied game-changing move, the heavy-handed edit disguising the unanimous vote-off of a powerless purple victim made Tribal Council flat and anticlimactic. I also struggled to match all of the new faces' names, professions in a 1-hour episode. Hopefully things will be better next week. My other observations, shoehorning players into role categories doesn't always work well. I'm not sure how a parole officer is a healer. I also have a hard time hearing surfing instructor and hustler in the same sentence. And don't get me started about heroic actuaries. That was a wonderfully understocked supply ship. Where were the chickens, the toolkits, the cookware? Debbie's exile yacht had better supplies. Ryan's turtleneck wouldn't look out of place on the original Star Trek. Hopefully the red-shirted Ryan won't be a red shirt. Take it from me, Alan has wild moose eyes. If he flattens his ears, back away slowly. I was disappointed that Tony clone Joe didn't mimic recent Tony and go out first. Normally I cringe when a player tells someone that they have a hidden idol. Given the limited window for this one though, I thought Ryan was smart to use it and build a bond. If football player Allen doesn't rein in the drama, he's likely to get punted by his tribe. The immunity idols are beautiful. Kudos to the props department. I love the irony that the healers won after getting stuck with the easiest maze. Brer Rabbit much? Will it be December before Chrissy discovers that Ryan was her secret Santa? Mom Squad sounds too much like Bomb Squad. Neither outfit has good long-term prospect. I guess a super idol is even better than Pepto-Bismol for treating an upset stomach. Ask Chrissy. Chrissy now owns the world's most realistic fake idol. I don't think it's an accident that the text about the idol only being good at the first tribal is at the bottom of a long vertical parchment where it can be torn off. Oh, good observation. Because it does say at the end he doesn't have to tell or whoever has it doesn't have to tell anyone. Next time, our power couples forming. Is Patrick unstable? Will Chrissy use her Mensa brain and a machete to create a realistic fake super idol? Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. Can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Thank you, Josh. Excellent job, as always. Next up, we got audio from Drew and Charlie in Adelaide.
Hey, everyone. This is Drew and...
Charlie.
And...
Adelaide.
Just the three of us this morning doing a quick recording. Had a great time watching the premiere. Baby Milo slept all the way through it, so, wasn't too excited. But I have it on good authority that his picks, if he had made them, would have been 100% correct. So, have to see if I can figure out a way to get those out of him. But, as far as the premiere went, I enjoyed it. Lots of drama and excitement, and people are already pretty annoying. Joe and Alan especially. But the other people are looking pretty interesting. And, Devin. Don't forget Devin. Gosh. He reminds me of those brothers. You know the ones. Anyway, I have to say, my USB... Mr. Ben is looking pretty good, although, being so strong right at the start isn't always a good sign, but I think he'll be okay for now. Let's see, I'm just going to go through some of the people. Alan is too hard, too fast. I kind of thought that plan was going to bite him in the rear, but no. Chrissy, I was like you, I was really surprised she didn't change things up and play that idol, but I guess in the interview, Katrina said she just felt threatened by her, so she had to not worry, but it just made that whole idol thing kind of fizzle, so who knows. What if they had one for every single tribal council that could only be used for that tribal council? That'd be nuts. Okay, let's see what else. Joe, super annoying. Don't like where that's trending. Allie is looking better than I expected. Ryan, I think, is this guy who is just desperate to be cool and popular after a lifetime of being, like, a nerd. And so then he's like, I'm being appreciated by popular people and good-looking people. So, I don't know. I think he could get kind of caught up in that and lose some of his focus, but we'll see. I guess in the end, I think that Katrina's as good a choice as any, except I think Chrissy is more of a liability, but, she wasn't an option to go anyway. Not that they knew that. So, winner of the week, Ben. Yeah, Ben. Loser of the week, Alan. Sure. Stirring things up when he doesn't need to yet. I guess that's all. It was a pretty straightforward but fun premiere. Could have used a little more time getting to know these people. I think it's funny because when I was doing the Javik, I was like, I don't know a thing about these people. But then, if you think about it, at the end of the season, you know them, their face, their name, so much about them. It's really weird that these ordinary people become so known to the fans, It's just something I observed that We don't know anything about them, but soon we will know them, and some of them will know forever. So anyway, have a great weekend. Gonna hang out with my family. We have a general conference for our church, so that will be interesting. The other two kids have disappeared. I think they went upstairs to get a drink. I don't know. Hopefully they're not getting into too much trouble. Better go check on them. It's time for breakfast anyway. Oh, here they are. Okay, say bye.
Let's say bye together.
Okay, say bye together.
Bye!
Good job. Wow, that was loud. Okay, bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Adelaide. Next up, we got a call from Kenny.
Well, this is Kenny from Dallas calling again. Call number 2. It's going to last 5 minutes. Sometimes life intrudes and I got an important call, and unfortunately I have to redial to you guys, but it shows what Survivor is so good for me. It's a great escape, and it makes me feel so much more relaxed to have something which takes my mind completely off work. Triple H got off to a pretty good start. Again, I said it previously, I wish it had been more than an hour, at least an hour and a half. Maybe CBS is cutting down, I'm not sure. But in the hour and a half, you get a fuller picture of the Survivor team. And I do give kudos for, I guess, Paul's virtual roster. I know who's who then. Joe stands out. He comes across as a bully, really not a very pleasant individual. He's a parole officer, I guess, but I'd be interested to track the people who have been his parolees. I wouldn't be surprised if they purposely commit offenses to get back into prison so they don't have to deal with him anymore. What a weasel. Yeah. He could be on an H tribe. I guess we'd call him a heel. And then Alan doesn't come across as being the most stable person in the world, and maybe somewhat paranoid. I think probably when he was in the NFL, he probably thought during huddles the other team was talking about him. He comes across as really kind of kooky. I guess to be nice, we could put him on the H histrionic tribe. Neither of those guys are going to go far. They're both weasels, both villains. They both won't do anything. I think it was unfair for both Katrina and Chrissy to be put on the Heroes tribe, where the other 4 people are somewhat similar in their demographic and they stand out so much, or they stood out so much. And I think they should have mixed it up, or maybe not even cast them if they were so going against the grain. I think Chrissy's in trouble unless she aligns with one of the guys. Unless the Heroes win out and she makes it to some type of merge. Well, there was a glitch in the system and I could not submit my USB. I don't know who I would have chosen. Allie is impressive to me, and I could easily see her as being a winner. But I have to give the USB this season to you guys for your brilliant performance that you did. And I think that it would be appropriate to have Jack come in. Jack, could you come in now? Jack wants to, sing along with you guys because he really thinks you did a great job. Thanks, Jack. Jack is into the season also. He thinks that the Healers are one of the stronger tribes, and he has his money. Who's Jack have his money on? Who would Jack put his money on? He's a white stripe kind of guy. Jack would probably have his money on the surfer guy. Actually, he would have his money on whoever the surfer guy is, if that's Devin. He's more of a serious guy. I think he would have his money on Ryan. I like Ryan, by the way. I thought he was a solid player, and I could see him going far. All right, guys. Yay. Great start. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Kenny.
Right, thanks
for injecting the white stripes and Jack White into that. Next up, we got an email from Sarah in Jamul.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. So happy your podcast is back. I was missing you over the summer. Thanks.
Yeah, we miss you too.
This season, rather than fire off my silly observations during the episode, I've decided to write a poem for each contestant who is booted. I promise they won't all sound like limericks. I call this one Shoulda Swam Faster. Katrina, a mom from the Midwest, thought on Survivor she'd be best. But Chrissy said no, the idol won't show. And thus ends the Olympian's quest for $1 million.
Nice.
Sigh, I'll work on my poetry skills.
That was great.
Can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Great job. Next up, we got a call from Rodney.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy, it's Rodney from Illinois calling in on the first week's episode of Survivor. Stacy, last week I said you were correct in some of your assessments of the cast, but this week I'm going to say you're wrong. You said that Chrissy was wrong for not playing that idol to save Katrina, but I think she was right in not playing it. She, like Mike said, perception is 90% of reality, And Chrissy really needed to separate herself from that perception. So allowing Katrina to leave was probably the best thing she could have done. And it also allowed the other targets in the tribe to rise. As for the rest of the Heroes tribe, I think Ben Freebergen is going to be our eye into the storm. He's going to be the proxy for us in their world, and I look to see him as the nexus of things going forward as far as the hero tribe is concerned. The other heroes, I think they're just going to implode on themselves. They're going to fight. They're not really going to get along. They're just going to continue this testosterone thing that Alan Ball had spoke on in some of his interviews prior to starting the game. We switch over to the Healers tribe. I think Tony is too aggressive again. Oh, wait, I mean Joe. Joe is too aggressive. I think that he's going to go out just like Tony. He's in there playing like Tony. He's got the perception of Tony. Everybody thinks he's Tony. I think Mike's going to play up the victim a little bit. I think that he's going to turn his tribe against Joe. Joe's probably not long for this game. I do not like the foresight on the whole Jessica and Cole relationship. I think showmances and Survivor never work. It's just something that should be left with Big Brother. Switch over to the Hustlers tribe. So far, so good. We didn't get too much on the Hustlers tribe. I don't understand why CBS is playing down the Patrick-Allie relationship. Most people know about it, so I don't know why they're not showing the prior relationship between the two. And so it looks like next week that'll blow up and Pat will probably get the early boot. Ryan and Devin, I can't help but think of Mice and Men with that scene where Ryan was sharing the idol with Devin. I don't think too highly of Devin. I think Devin's a little slower. I know a lot of people say that he's a huge fan and that, he has some game smarts, but I really think that, it's going to be one of those things where eventually Ryan's going to have to take Devin out to pasture and vote him off the island. Excited to see what goes forward in Survivor 888. Excited to hear everybody else's feedback. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Rodney. Joanne was giving the slow wave to Joe while you were talking about him exiting soon.
Bye-bye.
Next up, we got audio from Rhonda.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, everyone. It's Rhonda from Portland. It's 11:56 on Saturday, and I'm late, and I'm so sorry. My thoughts on the premiere are that it was gorgeous. Oh, my goodness, it's so gorgeous. My husband watched the first couple of minutes with me, and he is not a Survivor fan. He always walks in and says, "Who won?" which is so annoying. And there's my kitten, Hickama. He thought that someone should have not, in that very, very first challenge, that someone should have not gone for the giant torch, and that they should have stayed and gotten all the food, which was interesting, especially if you know how to make fire. I thought that was kind of insightful of him. You picked Jessica for me, and that's an okay choice. She's a nurse practitioner, and I'm a physician assistant, so I kind of have to root for her. Although I heard somewhere in one of her preseason things that she's all about the religion, and I don't think religion has any place in Survivor. But whatever, we'll see how she does. I like everyone on the healers camp, and I thought that they're gonna do well. I mean, obviously that's results oriented. My favorite of that group is it Mike, Dr. Mike? I like him. And judging by the amount of confessionals he got, I think he's going to go far. Not at all impressed with, the Hustlers? On the Heroes, I don't know. They seem like what do they seem? They seem like I don't have any thoughts about them. The one who was voted out, I can't even remember her name at this point. I listened to one of her exit interviews, and boy, she didn't care about being there at all, so good riddance. And that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to hear what everyone else has to say, and I'll talk to you next week. And sorry again for being late. Thanks, bye.
Thanks, Rhonda. Well, yeah, I didn't get that impression from our interview with her at all. No. She went on and she was kind of gushing about how much she wanted to be there, and Joanne and I were talking about it after the interview. While she's like, the ultimate first out interview, I guess, is the one you're like, that's just so bad that she didn't get an opportunity, right? Or that's the kind of response that you would have, just wishing that person got to play more. I don't know that I had that necessarily about Katrina,
I didn't.
But Katrina is she's another great example of a first out that makes me think, you know what? She made the most of the tiny little slice that she had. She really squeezed every ounce out of it.
There you go. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, so I had a real positive view of her afterwards. It certainly improved from the preseason where it just seemed like wackiness. So anyway, thanks, Rhonda. Good job. Next up, we got email from Brandon in Brooklyn. Wow, what an interesting episode. I wasn't happy when I found out the episode was only an hour. I want more Survivor. I was shocked to see how complete the Healers tribe is and how well they work together in the immunity challenge. I didn't like how Joe confronted the doctor about looking for the idol. Joe's already on a small tribe, and you don't need to make any enemies early. I knew Ryan would find an advantage early. He has that look of being sneaky but good. I like how he took initiative and formed a bond with Devin. I can see them being the next dynamic duo. Speaking of duos, I'm shocked that Alan is so worried about Ashley and JP. I would never have thought of confronting my alliance member on day 2 about having an idol. Alan's playing horribly, but I love it. Ben should be worried about Alan, but he does make a point that JP and Ashley are a little too close so fast. I can't wait to see the next episode and to listen to everyone's thoughts. Thanks, Brandon. Good job. Next up, we got a clip from Jody.
It's Jody in Brisbane. I got full points. Yeah, I did. So that was a fluke. I'd also chosen all of my safe picks from the Hustlers tribe. So family, Stacey, I think I deserve the title of most bold right now, just between you and me. Haha. So I got back from China, I think 4 days before the game. Yeah, I've been back 5 days, yeah. So I had very little chance to do any pre-gaming, so I did 0 pre-gaming and basically chose the nurse because why not? Yeah, I'm still figuring out who everybody is and blah, blah, blah. So Alan is super crazy. I guess it's a little fun to watch, but boy's nutso. I thought for a moment he might be a dad on vacation looking for an easy, fast out to just kick his legs up because that guy is nutso. I kind of like Joe. He's a different kind of nutso. The game so far, I've not really clued out on who is who and what's happening. What a surprise. So I like Ali, I like the surfer boy, the dude with the skivvy, you know, the turtleneck thing. I think he's an interesting sort of character, but the skivvy makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm choking, and I'm not even wearing it. The cowboy guy, hat wearer, what's his name, Ben? Yeah, he seems like a pretty okay guy to me. The mum who had the wee spew at the end of the game and ended up not playing the idol, I thought that was a pretty good decision. Like lots of, the podcasters have said, like, what are you going to go against your whole tribe for to save this one person? And get across all of this, but I've got 3 assignments and 3 exams in 3 weeks to get to the end of my current course, and it's going to be what it's going to be. So I'm in good shape so far, points wise, if not intellectually. All right, guys, see you next week. Bye.
All right. Well, you sound super busy. Thank you for making time for some feedback and for the special treat that you recorded for us that we're going to play after we get through this feedback.
All right.
Stay tuned for that. Let's see. Do you get points for style points for playing bold by having the whole Hustlers or choosing all your safe picks from Hustlers, you said? I would say it's absolutely bold if everyone you chose is someone you thought wasn't going to make the merge and was likely to be voted out early. That's really my criteria, given who's there. So I'll give you spicy. I'm not sure I'll give you bold on that one. How's that, Jody? Definitely spicy. Next up, we got audio from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California. It's great to be back for another season of Survivor and a season of all new players. I feel like we haven't seen that in a while. I had absolutely nothing to contribute to last week's podcast. I had not seen a picture, read a name, looked at a bio. I knew absolutely nothing going into Wednesday night about any of the players. So it was really interesting listening to everybody's predictions because I didn't even have a physical, facial referent for anyone that anyone was talking about. But I'll tell you one thing, I was super happy to hear everyone's voice again. I'm so glad that Joanne and Stacy, you have brought us back all together for another season. I loved your song. I loved every second of it. I initially thought to myself, did Stacy lose the side challenge? Is he singing the song because of the side challenge? I was a little confused at that, but I really, really enjoyed it. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're among friends. You can sing a song and have everyone love it, and that's really what we are. We're all Survivor friends. And I'm just so happy we're all back. So on to the first episode. But now real quick as I'm thinking about it, I lied. I did have a facial reference for somebody, the skinny bellhop guy. But as of right now, I still don't know his name. But I know Katrina's name, and I know Alan's name, and JP and Ashley. And I know that the Cowboy, we'll call him Cowboy right now. Is he Ben? I think I have the Heroes tribe pretty well dialed in, and Chrissy. I can't say I was all that surprised to see Katrina go. We didn't see so much wild and crazy about her, but, you know, it just seemed that she was just that one that didn't quite fit in. When you arrive on that beach and you're looking for strength, the older mom females kind of stick out as the ones who aren't going to be quite as strong. Denise Stapley is probably one of the only exceptions to that I can think of in recent memory. But I wasn't all that surprised to see her go. What I was surprised about was... No, I wasn't. I wasn't surprised that she didn't use the Super Idol. The Super Idol would have created divisions right off the bat. I think that Chrissy, even though it was great that she was given this advantage, if she wasn't the one voted out, I think that it would have been a mistake to have used it. It's too early to draw solid tribal dividing lines, especially when you aren't the one who's controlling the numbers. So while this was a good idea, the whole play the idol after the vote thing, I just don't think it was that great of a plot twist for a first tribal council with only 6 players. Well, that's it for me and my most uninformed podcast contribution ever. I'm glad everyone's back. Can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. And here is to another great season of Survivor. Bye.
Awesome.
Right.
Glad to have you back, Jen. Good job. So where would Chrissy have fit? Where would you put an actuary? Jen made me start to think about that when I was listening to her feedback. If you put her on, you can't put her on healers because that's just not about healing, right? Assessing risk isn't about healing and figuring out when people are going to pass away. So you could put her on hustlers because she's like a super mom working and raising her family and rising up through the ranks in the company where she works. But then that shines a light on her and Lauren, right? Then you got another mom squad. So it's like the same wash, and I don't know if she comes out as good or not, or how that plays out in that scenario.
Probably not.
Of course, I guess you got to take someone out of that tribe to put her in. So
because there's so many 20-year-olds on the Hustlers.
Yeah, who would you take out of Hustlers if you're going to put Chrissy in? Who would you put on the heroes? Who could you stretch to a hero?
Don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, right? I guess they did the best they could. There's always what they do is they select the cast and then they try to fit a theme to the cast. Yep. And there's always going to be some that are just shoehorned in there, some square pegs in the round hole or something like that you have to deal with in that type of scenario. Okay, let's keep going. Next up, we got an audio from Paul.
Hey, Paul in Louisiana here, and I haven't gotten into my old routine yet to listen to Joanne and Stacy's thoughts on the first episode, but I'll be here working in the shop all day today, where I'll have plenty of time to catch up. Okay then, the biggest takeaway I have this week is that we desperately need at least an hour and a half runtime for the first episode. 18 people inside of 40 minutes of airtime just doesn't work. Things were rushed and people were neglected, especially us. So hopefully next season we go back to an extended show opener. Now I'm sure plenty will be said about Alan, so I'll just say that I feel bad for anyone who picked him as a USB. You just never know, do you? And boy, did I feel good when my USB found that first immunity idol. When I picked Ryan, I knew that he could be in trouble right out the gate and that he would need some time to prove his worth. Making that find told me right off the bat that he was going to get what he needed to make his mark this season. I honestly just never thought that his team would actually win immunity so that he could start off safe. The fact that the Hustlers won throws a monkey wrench into how I thought the first few episodes would play out. So then, people I misjudged include Allie, who I now like, Rourke, and I like her as well. But was that her in the beginning on the boat asking who can swim? That sort of scared me. And I like JP also. Alan, well, I changed my mind on him in the other direction. Jessica, well, it looks like you're going to live up to my expectations of not making the merge. Cole, please do not start a showmance with her. I will be so disappointed in you if you do. And Joe, had I seen you wearing those shorts down at your knees in the previews before the show started, well, I would have had far less faith in you like I do now. Plus, you're arrogant, so nope. Not a fun player at all. But Mike, as a fan of the show, you made a very rookie move when you left to look for an idol like that. Calm down. And although Katrina was first off and I wasn't sure how I felt about her from a short video bio, well, I ended up liking her. It's a shame that the oldest women start their seasons with 3 strikes against them. And I'm worried about Chrissy now. Sure, the previews show things looking up for her, but previews can look any way the editors want them to. Here's hoping that Ben, who I really like now after the first episode, isn't just dangling a carrot in front of Chrissy's nose. Oh, and I should say that I would have played that idol to save Katrina if I were Chrissy. Then I would have regretted my choice upon returning to camp. I don't think so clearly when the heat is on, and I'm happy to see that Chrissy does. I'd love to see her plant that now worthless idol in JP's belongings in plain sight for Alan to find, and have him go really crazy. But I have little doubt that Chrissy will make good use of it. So next to go, well, I'm playing this season for fun. So I'm going to say that Alan goes, since that would make the season more fun for me. I'm still not ruling out Simone, though. I still think this is a great cast, and I'm anxiously awaiting to watch this all unfold. Everyone take care. Bye.
Yeah, did we even see Simone?
Did we see her? Yeah, of course
I mean,
we
saw her, but did she have any lines? I don't even remember hearing her speak much.
Yeah, not in any significant fashion, no.
So that usually means, she's
she
not
goes deep
going
into the game.
Oh, I don't know about that, but she doesn't go out right away.
We had this discussion when we did the recap.
I know, I'm still having.
Okay. It could also mean that she got a Purple Kelly edit.
That's
and
true,
you're
too.
not going to see anything of her until she's gone.
True.
So it's too early to tell.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even highlight Katrina, and she got the boot.
Yeah, wasn't deemed relevant to the story given Chrissy's choice, yeah.
Yep.
That's a great idea. I like that idea about planning it on JP like that. And Alan would go ballistic. See, I told you so. I told you so. That's some tough strategic choices he's got to make with how to play it in a fake way.
But what if you planted it on Alan, in Alan's bag, where
sure, you got all these possibilities.
And they could go off on him about all he put them through.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually had it.
Yeah. I think there's a decent chance that that's going to backfire on you. I think your better play is to give it to someone that you're okay going out as a fake one or using it in a bluff, something like that maybe slow play it instead. The other thought I had, question that popped in my head when I was listening to Paul was, do you think that Ryan's finding the secret advantage might make him a little more lax to actually find the idol? You think that kept him from searching for a hidden immunity idol because he had the secret advantage? Could it have affected him, at least temporarily, somewhat adversely?
My instinct is no.
Because Katrina told us in the interview that she actually went off and was searching for the idol. But we didn't see anyone besides Mike searching for an idol.
Well, I'd be surprised if everyone didn't keep an eye out for the idol when they were out and about and had the opportunity.
Well, we certainly know there are people who don't. There have absolutely been castaways who said they didn't, and they didn't want other people doing that.
The pressure of it, yeah. Blah, blah.
And they use it as an attack on someone who does.
I would still
We've seen that
have to
in multiple
look, no
recent seasons. Yeah. I think I'd be always on the lookout for it too, and poking around. It'll be interesting to see who picks up on the twist this season. I think we'll get some of that in the next episode. I think somebody gets a clue.
Whether it worked out or not, it would be very exciting as a fan to find it. So that alone would be worth it.
You think that would cause him to stay diligent even though he was sitting on the super idol?
I don't know about him. I was talking more about me, but
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I think
I would think so.
It might
And
set
Mike,
you
too.
back, right? It might make you too comfortable for a little while.
So do you think it will set Mike back that Joe called him on it so openly?
No.
Will he stop looking?
No, I don't think he will. I think he said very clearly in that confessional he didn't like how Joe handled that. So,
But he also said
that makes someone like Mike more determined. He'll double down to look harder.
he also said his kids told him to
Find one. Yeah.
So it's like, I know he says he's a fan, but that struck me as odd that the kids told him.
Yeah.
That could just be.
That's kind of the side effect where the kids are able to invest more energy in observing and understanding something than, a busy parent with a full-time job that demands a lot of them.
Or just that they think that said parent does not pay attention or something.
Needs some extra coaching.
Because,
yes.
Old fogey kind of thing.
Well, he's just distracted.
To the children, yes.
Yeah. As you get older, it's more challenging for you to stay focused and maintain situational awareness and things like that. Little kids can. Sometimes the younger folks can do a much better job at that. Excellent. Well, we want to thank everybody who took the time to send in your thoughts and predictions based off this first episode. We also want to give a big thanks to, how would you say that?
Schluettes.
222, and all nicknames have been taken for your reviews on iTunes. That's always great. Helps get the word out.
That.
Yeah, that's another way that you can contribute to the podcast. Be sure to make your JSFL picks for next week by 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific on Wednesday. Good luck to everybody. And now it's time for Jody to pay her JSFL side challenge debt. So we have, in addition to playing in our Survivor Fantasy League, I have a side challenge. And how many people did you say? It's like 13 of us this season. So here's the way the side challenge works.
But it's closed for the season.
Yeah, it's closed, so no one else can join. But here's how it works, is that if you win, you get to pick a song that the loser, the person with the lowest total points in the JSFL and the side challenge group, needs to create a parody for and then perform it for us, and then we share that on the podcast.
And this season, we were lucky enough to have Parker and Jody be tied.
Yeah, they tied there in the basement.
2 songs.
That's part of why Jody was so ecstatic about getting full points at the beginning of the season too. So can fully understand that. So yeah, we're the beneficiaries of 2 songs, and this will basically put the final ribbon on.
She's 3 points ahead of you.
Season 34.
Wow.
Without further ado, and Joanne's interruptions, we'll go right to Jody's side challenge song.
It's Jody. So I have a debt to pay to our winner of the last season's side challenge. Well done to you, Nina. Just a little question. Could you not find any harder songs? Oh, my God. So my youngest son was going to help me with this, but he says it's too hard. So there you go, Mum. It's all up to you. All right. I'd love to say I've done my best, but it sucks. So here we go. God help us all. I swim here pretending to pee, so move along. I saw an advantage. Ooh, is this right or is it wrong? If Michaela were mad, she might have maybe seen it there. She had taken it first. I found the scroll, so give it here. I'm breaking all the laws, the laws, the laws. Friending all the squaws, friending all the squaws. A final tribal, you're gonna cheer and scream for me. Breaking laws, the laws, the laws. I'm a criminal, I'll snuff your torch out. Wolf in sheep's clothing, got a low growl. Everyone thinking how they're my best friend. You're my it girl, I play pretend. Give me the things that you love here. Ransom your stuff, so trust is real. Give me your wedding ring, Bradley. Taking cash home to my hot hubby. Culpepper under soul turns out he likes antiques. Yeah, right. Cool story, bro. Now let me hold that wedding ring. First season I got played now. Suddenly the player's me. Spy Shack was Tony's thing. Now the spy's in plain sight. Hey, it's me. I'm breaking all the laws, the laws, the laws. Friending all those squaws, friending all the squaws. At Final Tribal, you're gonna cheer and scream for me. Breaking laws, the laws, the laws. Give me the things that you love. Gonna ransom your stuff. Give me your valuables, love. New officer Sarah's tough. Give me the things that you love here. Gonna ransom all your stuff, yeah. Give me your valuables, love, yeah. New officer Sarah is tough. The things that you love. I'm gonna ransom your stuff. Give me your valuables, love. New officer Sarah's tough. SURVIVOR. SURVIVOR. What did you think of my singing?
Kinda good, but I see where you could definitely improve.
Oh yeah? I could improve?
You could improve your voice because you sounded a little nervous.
I was very nervous.
Well, just try to be more confident in what you're singing.
It's pretty good advice. Okay.
What about me?
Well, what do you think about it, Huxley? Because you were going to help me sing, and then you said how hard it was, and you didn't want to help anymore, so...
It was extremely hard. I just didn't want to do it, but you were really good, and I just want to say that...
Oh, yeah? You didn't think I was too squeaky? Like, because I was losing my voice, and I was like...
Blah, blah, blah.
Is that a yes or a no? You're with Zen. I could have done better. Well, it is what it is.
No.
Yeah, it's done.
All right.
All right.
That was fantastic. Good job. And I love the critique from the kids at the end. Well done. Your debt is paid. Good job, Jody. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody else who took part in the listener feedback show this week. Have a good one.